So here's a couple special ones here. We've got the Raincore Variant, and then also we've got Jabba's sailing barge. So we'll start with the Rancor because this one is actually pretty cool. David Shaw is the creator of this, calls this the pooping Rancor, but which is pretty funny. So the first one is this version. So the main difference, both of the Rancors are the same. No real difference in terms of their functionality, but one of the biggest differences you can see is actually in the characters. So on the right side here, you can see there's Luke holding the bone. And on the left side, it's Luke. He's got a similar hand position, but for whatever reason, he doesn't have the bone in his hand. There's also a difference you'll see in the stands, which I'll show you here in a second. So first, we'll just talk through the functionality of this guy. So he's got a little chain on his wrist here. His hands articulate. Both hands articulate both directions. As you move his arm up and down, his mouth opens and closes. It's got a little bit of articulation in the legs, but not very much at all. And then the other thing that's really cool is you can open up the back here, which actually can either store the characters, or what happens is he ends up opening his mouth and he eats it. And then he poops it out. So again, it's pretty funny. But one of the major differences between these two as well, beyond the figure, is actually the stand itself and the bottom of the feet. So you can see the difference here. The one on the right side with the gold stand has a little bit deeper set hole there for the peg than the one on the left. And then also with the stand itself, you get one that has a little bit deeper again, hole relative to the peg. And you can see the difference in the color of the Star Wars silver versus gold. So that's that on the Rancor. Again, really no differences beyond the figure and then the peg holes in the bottom. So then we get to Jabba's sailing barge, which is actually really cool. So there's a bunch of different things that this thing will do. So I'll go ahead and take it off the stand. It does come with this black stand, no coloration on there. And it has 3 figures to it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pull the sails off of here, but it does have sails on it. So you end up getting Yak Face, and you get this R2 that actually has the drinks on him. So just like in the movie. Pretty cool feature on there. With Yak Face, actually, there is a little area here on the top of the barge where he can stand. So you're able to actually get him in there and get him to stand pretty good. With R2, he really doesn't stand very well. The other cool thing is there's actually a flap here that opens, so you can actually open the flap and you can actually see Jabba inside, which is a really cool feature. The flap here on this thing ends up moves on both sides, and then on the bottom, you can either hide the wheels or you can end up pulling these out so that this thing could roll along the ground. So you could roll it along like that if you wanted, which is cool. And then onto the Jabba part. So you can pull this out. So there is Jabba inside. He actually does come out. So he's a soft rubber material. You can see I can actually just squeeze him. It's kind of sticky, but he fits right inside there. That's basically what that looks like. Pop him back in and close it. You can actually close this lid as well, or open it. Leave it open and occasionally shine a light in there in order to see him. Again, kind of like you can do here, which is really cool. Other side of this, it's pretty much standard. Nothing really different about it. And again, there is the bottom of the one little peg hole. And then these are designed to go on one specific way. So you can see one of them has a longer stem than the other. So the longer stem obviously goes in the middle, the shorter stem goes on the other side. So there is your Rancor and Jabba's sailing barge.